Alright, in this video I am going to be showing you how to make a paper airplane that I made up as a kid. Now there's a lot of paper airplane tutorials, and I know a lot of paper airplanes. Basically, before I got into juggling toys and all that, in my middle school, paper airplanes were a really big thing. Every recess we would go out with a handful of paper airplanes we made and fly them around. And I have a lot of really cool stories about some of the things that happen. But basically the design I'm going to be showing you is something I call the bull. And as you can see, I call it the bull because it has horn. And it's not a super hard airplane to make. I've personally never seen this anywhere else, and that's why I've decided to make this tutorial. Now this paper airplane, not only does it look cool, it actually flies extremely well. It's a really solid flying airplane. It just goes straight, and it's got a good design. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to make that. So basically what you want to do is fold it over like this. When you're making paper airplanes, you want to make sure that you crease it well and fold it well. So once you have that fold, you start to do like the basic paper airplane folds right here. You come in and you line up that edge with the center line, and you do that same thing on the other side. You open them up, and what you want to do is you want to take these new creases and line those up with the center line as well. And when you do this, it'll line up with this other line. And you open that up and you repeat, and you do that to the other side. Now that you have these lines made, what you want to do is fold it over again, and you take this piece that's sticking out and you fold it back. And you do that same thing to the other side. Now you want to flip it upside down and take this part and point it in, and you want to line it up right here. Fold that down. You want to make sure this front part's pretty creased down. So now once you have it here, you can fold it up like this and make it, but what I like to do is I like having these under, because I think it just makes it fly better. So what you do is you take this crease you made and you reverse it, just like so. And from this point, you can fold it a lot of different ways, but I like to basically go from here a little bit higher than where I started. Give it a slight angle up. And you fold that on both sides. And basically, that's the design so far. You can fly it like this if you want, but what I like to do is I like to put these on each wing so it gives it some stabilization in the air. Helps out. And this is the part where it's a little tricky, but not really. What you want to do is pull it back and keep rubbing it upward like this. So what you're doing is you're slowly creasing it and giving it a curve, and you do that on each side. Right, so it's starting to get its horns. But from here, this part's a little tricky. You want to kind of circle it out, like roll it like a ball. Some parts get a little stuck, so you kind of have to work with it. You do that to each side. Now you can decide to curl them all the way in or curl them like spirals, but I kind of like just giving it just enough curl to where these are almost like wings themselves. And that's the Bull. It's a really, really cool plane, and it's not that hard to make. I think it's a really dope design. I used to love reading books on airplanes, and I used to make all sorts of type airplanes, but I'm assuming this is my original design. If anyone else has seen this, I'd love to see a post of it. So comment below, I guess, if you've seen this before. And from this point, if you want to do modifications, you can. I like to use scissors, so one of the things you can do, you can give it another stabilizer on the back. What you want to do is you want to cut it going upwards towards the nose, because if you do it this way, it will be poking out the wrong way. So you give it a slant, cut up to this point, and you fold this part inside out. And fix the creases. And you've got another stabilizer. Now what you can also do with this is you open up this part and you can actually flatten that piece down. So now it's got like a 3D effect on it. Makes it a little bit cooler. And also another little trick is people say you can curl it with your fingers, but if you have scissors, you might as well use them. You make 4 slits in the paper, all the same size. Then you can fold these. And this will give you more control over your flight. If you have them all the way up, it's gonna backflip or go straight up. If you have them down, it's going to stabilize a little more, and if you push them all the way down, then it's going to make it nosedive. So this is how you can control how the plane flies. You don't have to do any of these things on this end part, but it's little tips and tricks. So if you make your first flight, if you throw it with this one and it doesn't fly right, or it's veering, or it's nosediving, or it's going too up, doing these modifications will help it. Since this isn't that long of a video, I'm going to show you one more time how to do it quickly. So you fold this over, you make that crease, you fold like a normal airplane fold, like the beginning of it. Do that to the other side, open them up, fold that crease into the center line, open that up and repeat. Then you fold them in and you reverse that crease now to where it's poking outward. Do that to either side, and once you get here, you want to flip it upside down, curl this nose in, and remember, give this a good crease because this is a lot of paper jammed up right there and you want it to be pretty flat. At that point, you take this crease and you reverse it. Then you make your wing folds. You open it up, you fix these up, and you begin the creasing of the curl of the horns. And one little note, when you do this, it does kind of shift the crease. You can feel it, it kind of shifts it because you're curling it up. It kind of pushes this top layer forward in a way. So you do kind of have to force it a bit. Start rolling it. And you've got your horns made. And this is the Bull. yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial and you make some bull planes. How are y'all not afraid of this, but you're afraid of something like this?